Come in quietly out of the noise of the world. Let the door close softly behind you and feel the hush settle over your shoulders like a warm cloth. Tonight, there is no place to be, nothing to solve, nothing to carry. There is only this: a wide window, a wooden seat, and the sound of rain. Somewhere far above the clouds, summer has opened its hands and let the sky fall gently onto the earth. And you are exactly where you need to be, cocooned inside a quiet train, gliding without hurry through a forest of green bamboo, the rain washing everything it touches into a soft, glowing calm. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath grow slow. There is nothing to watch for, nothing to wait for. Only the sway of green leaves. Only the low hum beneath your feet. Only the small porcelain cup of tea, steaming faintly on the wooden ledge beside you, its warmth rising like a whisper. Pull the blanket of this moment over yourself now. You are safe. You are warm. And the rain will carry you gently all the way into sleep. The train begins to move so smoothly that you almost do not notice it has started at all. There is only the faintest shift, a gentle lean, and then the world outside your window begins to drift past in long, unhurried ribbons of green. You are traveling through a forest of bamboo, tall and impossibly straight, each stalk rising toward a sky you cannot see, hidden behind a soft gray ceiling of rain clouds. The rain falls in warm, steady threads, not sharp, not cold as summer rain, heavy with the scent of wet earth and green wood, the kind of rain that seems to slow down time itself. Notice how the light moves, even without sun. There is a glow here, a soft emerald light that seeps through the wet leaves and settles over everything like a second kind of rain. It touches the polished wood of the train's interior. It touches your hands, resting quietly in your lap. It touches the little cup of tea beside you, where a thin curl of steam rises and disappears into the warm air of the cabin. Breathe in. The scent reaches you slowly to Tatami and cedar, and beneath it, the faint green sweetness of tea leaves, and beneath that, the mineral smell of rain on stone. It is a smell that asks nothing of you, simply is, and you simply receive it the way the bamboo receives the rain, without resistance, without effort. Outside, the bamboo bends, not with fear, not with struggle, but with a kind of practiced ease, swaying in long, slow arcs as the wind moves through the grove. Each stalk leans and rights itself, and leans again, as though the whole forest were breathing in time with something ancient and unseen. You watch this rhythm, and you feel your own breath begin to match it. Lean, rise. There is a word for this kind of stillness, though you do not need to know it to feel it. It lives in the space between one raindrop and the next. It lives in the pause before the train rounds a gentle curve, the windows filling, for just a moment, with nothing but green and silver and gray. You notice the droplets on the glass. Some race downward in thin, hurried lines. Others cling, trembling, gathering weight slowly, patiently, until they, too, begin to fall. You could watch this forever. There is nowhere else you need to be watching. The interior of the train is simple pale wood, warm light, the quiet geometry of a space built for rest rather than speed. There are no announcements here, no hurried footsteps, no need to hold on to anything. Only the gentle sway side to side, so slight it feels more like being rocked than being carried. Somewhere beneath the floor of the train, a low hum moves through the wood and up into the soles of your feet, into your legs, into the base of your spine. It is barely a sound at all. It is more like a heartbeat borrowed from the earth. Steady, unbroken, patient. You lift the little cup of tea and hold it, without drinking, just to feel its warmth against your palms. Outside, the rain falls harder for a moment, drumming against the bamboo leaves in a soft roar. And then, just as gently, it eases again, as though the storm itself were breathing too. This is a forest that has stood through countless storms like this one. The bamboo does not fight the rain. It bends and lets the water run down its length, and stands tall again once the weight has passed. There is a lesson here, though it does not need to be spoken aloud. You already feel it, somewhere beneath your ribs, in the slow loosening of your shoulders, in the way your eyelids have begun, without your permission, to grow heavy. The window fills again with green deep, wet, endless green broken only by the pale gray mist that gathers low between the stalks, drifting like breath across the forest floor. Somewhere out there, small birds have tucked themselves beneath broad leaves, waiting out the rain in patient stillness. You imagine them there now, feathers fluffed, eyes half closed, in no hurry for the storm to end. You are not in a hurry either. The train continues its slow glide, curving gently around the contour of a hill you cannot fully see through the rain and mist. The rhythm of the wheels below is so soft it barely registers as sound, more a suggestion of movement, a lullaby carried up through wood and cushion and into your tired body. Take another breath. Let it be slower than the last. The tea has cooled just slightly, enough now to drink. You lift it to your lips, and the warmth spreads through your chest, mingling with the low hum of the train and the endless whisper of rain on bamboo leaves. Outside, everything is being washed clean. The dust of ordinary days, the small worries that clung to you like static, all of it dissolving into the gray, rain-soaked air. There is nowhere to arrive. There is only this long, green, rain-soft passage, and you, wrapped in its quiet, carried gently forward through a forest that has learned, more patiently than you ever could, how to hold both storm and stillness in the very same breath. As the train continues its slow drift through the rain-soft bamboo, let your mind loosen from the present moment, just slightly, the way a hand loosens its grip on something no longer needed. There is an old story that belongs to this forest, one that has been carried generation after generation, on nights very much like this one soft with rain. hushed with green. Long ago, in a time so old it has softened at the edges like a stone smoothed by a river, there lived an old bamboo cutter. Each day he walked into groves much like the one drifting past your window now, cutting stalks to weave into baskets, humble work, quiet work, the kind of work that fills a life without ever making noise about it. One evening, as the light grew low and the mist began to rise between the stalks, he came upon a single bamboo stem glowing softly, as though it had swallowed a piece of the moon. He parted the stalk with trembling hands, and there, nestled inside, small enough to rest in his palm, was a child. Not an ordinary child. A child who seemed to carry her own quiet light, the way a lantern holds its flame gently inside glass. He carried her home through the darkening grove, cradling her as though she were made of mist herself, something that might dissolve if held too tightly. He and his wife, who had long wished for a child of their own, raised her with a tenderness that grew deeper with every season. They called her Kaguya-hime, Princess of Radiant Light, and radiant she was, though even as an infant, there was something about her eyes that seemed to look, always, just a little further than the room she was sitting in, as though she were listening for something far away. She grew quickly, impossibly quickly, the way moonlight grows across a floor when clouds part overhead. Within months, she was no longer an infant but a young woman of such quiet, luminous beauty that word of her spread far beyond the borders of the forest. And with that word came suitors, princes, noblemen, men who had never once cut bamboo with their own hands, who arrived instead with silk robes and jeweled offerings, each one certain that beauty such as hers must belong to someone, must be claimed, must be kept. Kaguya-hime received them all with the same soft, distant kindness. She asked each suitor for an impossible treasure, a jeweled branch from a mythical tree, a robe made from the fur of the fire rat, a stone bowl said to belong to the Buddha himself, not out of cruelty, but because she already sensed, somewhere deep within her quiet heart, that she was not meant to be kept by anyone at all. Each suitor returned empty-handed, or did not return at all, and slowly, one by one, they stopped coming. Even the emperor himself, hearing of her radiance, came to see her and found himself, for the first time in his long reign, gently but firmly refused. There was no anger in her refusal, only a kind of sorrow, soft and old, as though she already knew something about her own story that no one else could yet see. As the years passed, the old bamboo cutter noticed that on nights when the moon rose full and bright, Kaguya-hime would sit very still by the window, tears gathering quietly in her eyes as she looked up at its pale glow. When at last he asked her why, she could no longer hold the truth inside her. She told him she was not of this earth at all. She had come from the moon, from a kingdom of soft light and eternal stillness, sent down for a time as a kind of quiet exile, though even she did not fully understand why. And now, her time among the bamboo and the rain and the humble love of her adopted parents was drawing to its gentle close. On the next full moon, she told him they would come for her, and she would have to return. The old man wept. He gathered guards, hundreds of them, to stand watch around their home on the night of the full moon, determined to keep her, to hold on to this light that had filled his humble life with such unexpected radiance. But when the moment came, when a great procession descended from the sky on a cloud of impossible brightness. The guards found their arms grown heavy, their eyes grown heavy, as though the very air had turned to warm honey around them. They could not lift a single hand to stop what had already been written into the shape of the world. Kaguya-hime, dressed in a robe of feathers brought down from the moon, and as she did, something within her seemed to soften and let go all her memories of love, of sorrow, of the small warm life she had lived among the bamboo, dissolving gently, the way frost dissolves in morning sun. She left behind a letter for the old couple who had raised her, and a small vial of the elixir of immortal life, meant for the emperor, who, upon receiving it, is said to have looked toward the mountain nearest to the heavens, and had it burned there instead. For what use was eternal life, he wondered, without the one who had made him wish to live forever? They say the smoke from that burning mountain still rises, somewhere far from here, curling up toward the moon like a slow, unanswered question. And they say that on quiet rainy nights such as this one, if you listen closely to the sound of rain moving through bamboo leaves, you might hear, just faintly, an echo of the soft sadness she left behind, not sharp, not aching, but gentle, like a lullaby hummed by someone who loved this world quietly, and let it go just as quietly when her time finally came. You may find right now that your own eyes have grown heavy in sympathy with this old, tender story. That is all right. Let them close if they wish to. The bamboo continues to sway outside your window, rain-soaked and glowing faintly green, indifferent to the passing of centuries, indifferent to old legends of moon princesses and grieving emperors, simply continuing to grow, to bend, to hold rain in its leaves the way it always has, the way it always will. The train slows, almost imperceptibly, as the track curves higher into the hills, and through the rain-streaked window you catch a glimpse of something small and half-hidden among the bamboo, a rooftop, moss-covered, tucked into a fold of the mountainside as though the land itself had grown it there rather than built it. Let your mind step gently off the train for a while, into this quiet place, while your body remains here warm and still, wrapped in the sound of rain. An old man lives here, alone, though he would tell you he is never truly alone. Not with the rain for company, not with the small stone basin outside his window that has caught falling water for longer than he can remember. He is a tea master, though he has never called himself that aloud. He simply rises each morning and each evening and moves through the same slow motions his hands have known for the better part of a lifetime. Tonight, as the rain falls steadily against the cedar shingles above him, he kneels beside a small charcoal hearth set into the floor of his hut. His movements are unhurried, deliberate, each one carrying the quiet weight of thousands of repetitions before it. He lifts a blackened iron kettle, its surface smooth from decades of handling, and sets it above the coals to warm. While the water begins its slow journey toward readiness, he sits very still, listening, not to anything in particular, just listening, the way one listens to an old friend who does not need to be spoken to in order to be enjoyed. The rain outside falls into the stone basin with a soft, hollow sound, deep and round, different from the sound it makes on the roof, different again from the sound it makes among the bamboo leaves further down the slope. He has learned over the years to hear the difference. He has learned that rain, like people, speaks in many voices depending on where it lands. The water begins to sing faintly inside the kettle. Not a boil, not yet, just the first thin whisper of heat moving through liquid. A sound so delicate it could be mistaken for wind. He waits. He has never been in a hurry for this sound to become something louder. He understands, in the quiet way that only comes from long solitude, that most good things arrive slowly, and that trying to hurry them only teaches you to miss them. When the water is ready, he lifts it from the coals and lets it cool for a long, unhurried moment, testing its warmth against the inside of his wrist, the way his own teacher once tested it against his. Then he takes a small ceramic bowl, worn smooth and slightly uneven, shaped by hands rather than machines, and spoons into it a small measure of vivid green matcha, ground that morning from leaves grown somewhere lower on this same rain-soaked mountain. He pours the warm water over the powder, slowly, watching it pool and spread like a small green sea inside the pale bowl. And then he lifts his bamboo whisk thin, delicate. Its many fine tines carved from a single piece of bamboo, not unlike the bamboo swaying now outside your train window, and begins to move it in quick, light strokes, back and forth, until a soft foam rises to the surface, pale and cloud-like, gathering the light of his small lantern. There is no urgency in this motion, though it is quick. His wrist moves with the ease of something practiced so many thousands of times that it no longer requires thought, only presence. He is not thinking of the tea. He is simply here, in this small circle of lantern light, in this small hut on the mountainside, with the rain falling steadily beyond his walls and the scent of warm, grassy tea rising to meet him. When the foam is ready, he sets the whisk aside and lifts the bowl in both hands, turning it slightly, out of an old habit whose original meaning he has long since forgotten, but whose gentleness he has never stopped honoring. He brings it to his lips and drinks, slowly, in 3 unhurried movements, the warmth spreading through his chest the way warmth spreads through yours, right now, from the small cup resting near your own hands. Outside his window, the rain continues to fall into the stone basin, and the sound it makes has become, over the years, something like a second heartbeat to him, steady, patient, indifferent to the passing of seasons, indifferent to the slow bending of his own back with age, indifferent to everything except its own quiet insistence on continuing. He listens to it now the way you might listen to your own breath, the way you might listen to the low hum of the train beneath you. He does not think of loneliness. He thinks, if he thinks of anything at all in these moments, of how full a small room can feel when it contains nothing but rain and tea and the low warm light of a single lantern. He has come to believe, in his long years of solitude, that comfort does not require company. Sometimes, comfort requires only the absence of hurry. As the night deepens, he sets his empty bowl aside and lets the fire in the small hearth burn low, its last coals glowing faintly orange in the dim room. He does not move to extinguish it. He simply lets it fade on its own time, the way the rain will fade eventually into mist, the way this whole rain-soaked night will fade eventually into the pale hush of morning. And somewhere below him, moving almost silently through the wet bamboo groves, a small train glides past on its long, unhurried journey, carrying you, warm and still, deeper into the mountain, deeper into rest, deeper into the same soft quiet that fills his small hut on the slope above. Now, let yourself drift back fully into the warmth of the train, back into this small moving room that has carried you so gently through rain and legend and quiet mountain solitude. Feel the cushion beneath you. Feel the faint, steady hum rising up through the floor. You are still here. You have never really left. And now, at last, it is time to rest more deeply still. The train begins to slow, so gradually you might not notice the exact moment it happens. The way you might not notice the exact moment sleep first begins to soften the edges of a tired mind. The bamboo outside grows thinner now, giving way to soft folds of mist that roll low across the mountainside, gray and silver, blurring the line between forest and sky. Somewhere beyond that mist, higher up the slope, the Tea Master's small lantern still glows, though you can no longer see it. You do not need to see it, now that it is there. You rise, slowly, unhurried, and make your way down a narrow corridor lined with pale wood, the walls glowing faintly amber under small, low lanterns. Sliding doors, made of wood and rice paper, line the corridor, each one leading to a small private compartment, and yours slides open now with a soft, breathy whisper, revealing a room unlike any you have rested in before. The floor here is lined with tatami woven straw mats, pale gold and fragrant, releasing a soft, earthy sweetness into the air the moment you step onto them. This is the scent of dried summer grass, of quiet fields, of centuries of rooms built for rest rather than hurry. Beneath your feet, the mats give gently, softly, like walking on something that has been shaped over long years to hold the weight of tired travelers with tenderness. In the corner of the small room, a low wooden shelf holds a single steaming cup, freshly poured, the same pale green as the tea the old master drank in his mountain hut. Beside it, a thin curl of cedar incense rises in a slow, unhurried thread, filling the room with the scent of warm wood, gently mingling with the fragrance of the tatami beneath you. A futon has been laid out for you, thick and soft, covered in pale linen the color of moonlight on water. Beside it rests a heavy woven blanket, dyed a deep indigo, the kind of blue that seems to hold the whole quiet night inside its threads. You lower yourself onto the futon now, feeling the give of it beneath you, feeling the tatami's gentle firmness supporting it from below, two softnesses working together to hold you exactly as you are. Outside your window low, wide, framed simply in pale wood, the rain continues to fall, softer now, more distant, as though the storm itself has begun to grow tired too, easing itself gently towards sleep along with you. Mist gathers thick against the glass, blurring the shapes of bamboo and mountain into soft impressions of gray and green, like a memory already halfway into being forgotten. Pull the indigo blanket up over yourself now. Feel its weight settle across your shoulders, heavy and warm, the way a hand might settle there if it wished only to say, gently, you are safe now. You may rest. There is nothing more required of you tonight. The train continues its slow glide through the misted mountains, so smooth now that you can barely tell you are moving at all. It feels, instead, as though the mountain itself has begun to move slowly around you, cradling you at its center, while you remain perfectly, wonderfully still. Somewhere far below, the bamboo continues to sway in the warm summer rain, indifferent and patient, exactly as it has swayed for 1,000 years of rainy nights like this one. Somewhere on the mountainside, the tea master's coals continue to fade slowly into soft orange stillness. Somewhere beyond the clouds, perhaps, a princess of quiet light continues to look back, just once more, at the small green world she once loved so gently. And here, in this small warm room lined with fragrant straw and cedar smoke, you are held by all of it at once. The rain, the legend, the solitude, the warmth woven together into a single, soft, unbroken thread of comfort. Let your breath grow slower now. Let it match the rhythm of the rain against the glass, soft and steady. No longer something you need to think about, simply something that happens the way sleep simply happens when you finally stop reaching for it. Your tea will cool slowly on its shelf. You do not need to drink it. Its warmth is enough now, filling the small room with a scent that will follow you gently into whatever dreams await. The cedar incense will burn down slowly, filling the last of your waking moments with its soft, woody sweetness. The train moves on, unhurried, through the misted dark, carrying you deeper into rest with every soft, rocking motion. There is nowhere to arrive tonight. There is only this, the tatami beneath you, the indigo blanket around you, the rain outside, endless and gentle, and the low, patient hum of a journey that asks nothing of you but to close your eyes and let it carry you the rest of the way. Let everything grow quiet now. The bamboo, the legend, the tea master's small hearth, the softly moving train. Let them all settle gently into the background of your mind, like rain settling finally into still, quiet water. You are warm. You are safe. You are held completely by this small world of cedar and tatami and endless soft rain. There is nothing left to do now but rest. No thoughts to finish. No place left to reach. Only the soft weight of the blanket around you. Only the last faint curl of incense in the air. Only the patient, endless whisper of summer rain against the glass. Somewhere outside, the mist continues to drift between mountain and sky, blurring the edges of everything into gentle gray stillness. And somewhere within you, that same soft blurring has begun thoughts dissolving quietly into dream, waking slipping gently into sleep. Sleep now gently, completely. The rain will keep watch through the night. The mountain will hold you steady, and when morning comes, soft and pale beyond the mist, you will have rested more deeply than you have in a very long time. Good night.